Yeah, I'm him signing in on y'all, man. Yeah. Um, let's talk about the president reporters. I always bring y'all stuff that no one else don't bring you. I see stuff that other people don't see. I notice stuff that other people don't notice. The average person don't notice, and I bring it to y'all because no one else does. So everybody else doing the same thing. I do. I'm different. But anyway, let's talk about these reporters. Did y'all know? Did y'all know them reporters when they ask the president questions? Did y'all know that they're handed a list of questions from the president as to what they can ask him? Y'all didn't know that, did you? The question that they want to ask him is already handed to him a day before. And he goes over the questions that can be asked to him, and he'll take out the ones that can't be that ask him, and he'll leave the one that they can ask him, and he'll pass them back to each one, whoever it came from. So where it looks like they just out here in the crowd and they asking a question, he already know those questions that they're gonna ask him. Okay? You ever notice, like, let's say a bomb could be went off at the White House. Okay? If a bomb went off at the White House, don't you know everybody want to know about that bomb? We want to know about that. But have you ever noticed, and watch this in the future, have you ever noticed, now, we're talking about the bomb. Watch how the next reporter asks a question way out in space. Mr. President, what the price of peanuts gonna be? The price of peanuts gonna go up or they gonna go down? Peanuts? Where that come from? We talking about this bomb that just went off at the White House. Everybody want to know about this bomb, and you talking about some peanuts? But they go on the show. This is how they stir the conversation away from what the point of the situation is. This is how you know that these questions that are being asked him, these questions is already predestined, pre looked at. He's already looked at them questions. And like I say, he know where he gonna be at the next day. The reporters know where he gonna be at as well. If they didn't, how would they know to be there to ask him the question? So they write down a list of questions that they can ask him. They got 3 different questions that they can write down. He'll check off to ones that they can ask and put an X by the one they can't ask him. And see, if they go beyond what he said and ask something he didn't say, or prove them to ask, see, they get in trouble. See, they lose their job. And like I say, not only the president do this, a lot of people do this. You take Deion Sanders. When he sit down in front of that press conference, he answering questions that he's already approved them to ask him. They can't just ask what they want to ask. You take one reporter, Deion got so mad at him because he asked a question that wasn't approved of. He asked a question, straight up. No, the question that he asked, see, Deion didn't approve of that the day before. But like I say, you got to be very fake in order to water people down and won't let them ask the questions that they want to ask you. They can only ask you what you approve of them to ask you. If you like that, then you got a whole lot to hide. You ain't got nothing to hide, bro. Hey, let them ask you what they want to ask you. You answer it. But no, you can't answer it. You don't got no answers for what you need to have answers for. So you faking to the media, you faking to the news. All that stuff is scripted. All that stuff is fake. And I just wondered, like, did you people know that? But you looking at stuff, just look at the next time someone is asking someone questions on TV, Just watch. Watch how whatever the big topic is that we need to be talking about. Watch how some dumb reporter asks a question that ain't got nothing to do with that. Changing the subject. Just look how they change the subject. I mean, we talking about a bomb done went off at Central here. Everybody everybody in the world, we sitting at home on the couch. We want to hear what he got to say about this bomb that went off at Central. Okay. He might take one question about that bomb that went off at the White House. Next question coming up. Hey, Mr. President. Hey, we heard if they're gonna be making all red cars next week. What in the hell that got to do with the bomb that went off that we want to hear about? Now he talking about the red car situation. We done left the bomb situation. Now we talking about the red car. Then your next dummy ask another question. Hey, Mr. President, are we gonna be growing? We're gonna be allowed to grow roses, flowers on Sunday? What in the hell that got to do with this bomb that we want to hear about? But you watch how they change the subject and stir the steering wheel. And when they do that, clearly that adds up to what I'm saying. Clearly you can see what I'm saying is true. And just look at how they stir the steering wheel. They turn it away from what we want to know about. They turn the subject away. You see, like I say, he've already seen these questions that they can ask. He done checked off the question that they allowed to ask. You got reporter A, you got reporter B, you got reporter C. They all got 3 questions they want to ask the president. He'll check off the one that reporter A can ask. He'll check out the one reporter B can ask. He'll check out the one reporter C can ask him. Okay. Once they get the check of the receipt of the report of the question that they can ask him, that's what they better stick to. Now, when the president's gonna be wherever he at, they show up. Okay. Reporter A, you got to ask the question that reporter B. He might let one of them ask a question about what the topic is. The next one gonna ask something totally different. And like I say, they got 3 questions to ask that they can choose to ask one out of the 3. But you watch. If you think I'm lying, watch it next time you see. Watch how some reporter asks a question that ain't got nothing to do with what's going on. You'll see a headline wrote down something to make you click on it. Yeah, this is what I want to hear about. Yeah. A man broke in the White House and held everybody hostage in the White House. Everybody in the world want to hear about that. Oh, he'll let the first reporter ask a question about that. Then the next reporter, he trained to ask a question that's totally different and ain't got nothing to do with what happened in the White House. You watch. I just showed y'all something that no one else ain't never showed you. I just hip you on something that no one ain't hip you to. See, y'all ain't never thought about that, have you? You ain't never thought about that, have you? You thinking they just asking questions. No, them questions are already predestined, and he's already seen those questions and approved the question that they can ask him and the one that they can't ask him. Now, they make it look so good, where it look like he just getting off the airplane or getting off the helicopter and he on his way inside the White House, and they just happen to be out there to watch him go in the White House, and they stopped him to ask him questions. That's what it's supposed to look like. But it ain't nowhere near like that. All that staged. They already know where he gonna be at and what time. That's why they already out there piled up waiting on him. He already know they there. He's already checked and gave them questions that they can ask him. And a lot of them, he write down questions for them to ask him. If he don't like now 3 of the questions that they want to ask him, he'll write down a question for them to ask him. So like I say, all that stuff is staged, man. Y'all didn't know that, did you? Yeah, just watch. Next time you see somebody being questioned on TV by reporters, look at how they start asking questions that ain't got nothing to do with what everybody want to hear about. They ain't asking questions that ain't got nothing to do what everybody clicking on to see the questions about. What everybody clicking on this to see him answer a question about, you watch, they start asking questions that ain't got nothing to do with it. What about the price of fingernail polish in China? What in the hell that got to do with we talking about this bomb that went off in the White House? Somebody done set a bomb in the White House. This is what we talking about. Now you talking about fingernail polish in China. You see how they changed the situation. You see how they turned the steering wheel away from what we what they wanted, what we want to know about. But yeah, check it out. Next time you see, you'll see. I'm him signing out.